there Star Wars collectors, welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video and welcome to episode 15 of Ask Bossk's Bounty. This is the weekly series where you guys get to ask me questions in the comment section below, and then of course I do my very best to answer them each week. So obviously we've got lots of questions to go through from last week's episode. That's going to come in a second, but before that I just want to talk about some of the things that have been revealed and the news that we've had this week. Obviously we had the Imperial Troop Transport for the Vintage Collection. Images of that surfaced, which looks absolutely awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on one of those. We also had the D3 Deluxe figure, the Probe Droid for the Black Series, which again looks awesome. I think I might have to get myself one of those as well. What else have we got? We've got Toy Fair coming up, New York Toy Fair. If you don't already know, I will be attending Toy Fair in New York. I'm going by myself. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm really hoping that Hasbro are going to set us up for the whole year with loads and loads of reveals for the Vintage Collection, for the Retro Collection, and for the Black Series. We've got the 40th anniversary of the Empire Strikes Back this year, so there's so much that they can hit us with, and I'm really, I've got my fingers crossed that they're going to give us loads and loads of good stuff at Toy Fair. So if you want to find out more about Toy Fair and what Hasbro reveal, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Bossk's Bounty or Twitter at Bossk's Bounty, because that is where I will be, putting up all the images of the things that I see at Toy Fair on the Hasbro stand. So hopefully that'll be really, really cool. Anyway then guys, if you like this video, as per usual, drop a like down below. Be sure to leave your comments and questions in the comment section for next week. And let's get on to the first question. Sharif Ben Ali says, my question, Tim, would you like a Retro Collection Falcon Palatoy Death Star? I think they would sell like hotcakes. Great channel, bud. Thank you very much, Sharif. I'm in two minds about this. I think people that watch this channel know that I am in two minds about the Retro Collection. I'm still undecided whether I really like it or not. I do like the fact that they're bringing out the retro figures. I don't like the packaging so much. And then there's that part of me that really sort of just thinks that the retro stuff, the original Kenner vintage stuff, should just be left alone. And that's kind of where I am with the vehicles especially. I think the figures is a little bit different, but if they're going to start bringing out a Millennium Falcon in retro packaging and it's just the vintage Kenner Millennium Falcon, I really don't see the point in that. I think it will sell like hotcakes, no doubt, but I think you could probably go on eBay and get yourself a vintage one for maybe £50 in decent shape. So why not just go and do that instead? You've got the original vintage one from back in the day. No need to get a retro one. I just don't really see the point in it myself, but that's just me. A lot of people might want that kind of thing. Michael Piero says, ask Boss Bounty question for next week. Hey Bossk, love the show. Thank you very much, Michael. Would you buy an episode 1 Darth Maul Sith Infiltrator if Hasbro gave it the vintage treatment and sold it sometime this year? Just curious. 100% yes. Why wouldn't I do that? I mean, a vintage collection Sith Infiltrator sounds absolutely awesome to me. I mean, if they gave it that whole weathering and everything that they have done with all the other vehicles that they've brought out, that sounds awesome to me. That's a great shout actually. I've never actually really thought of any vehicles from episode 1 that they could do in the vintage collection particularly, but I think the Sith Infiltrator, that's a great shout. Rob S722 says, love the channel, love the content. Thank you, Rob. I know you watch a lot and you ask lots of questions, which is great, so thank you very much. He says keep up the great work. I'm trying. My question is, since this is your 15th video, so 15th episode of Ask Bossk's Bounty, what are your top 15 figures that you own? I think 15 is quite a lot to go through, but I've tried to put some of them out here today. The ones that I have just sort of sprung to mind that I most definitely are right up there. I've probably missed out a load because a lot of them are packed away. I've got some on display. But I would say, you've got the Gamorrean Guard Vintage Collection, phenomenal figure. The Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper from the 3-pack, phenomenal figure. Also the Luke Jedi as well. He's another one that we need on card. And again, probably one of the best Luke Skywalker figures you can buy. In that 3-pack, he was amazing. We got the 501st Clone Trooper. This is possibly one of my favourite figures. He is right up there, probably in the top 5. Absolute phenomenal figure. Don't care that you can't remove his helmet. It's in scale, great articulation, superb figure, end of. We've got the Galactic Marine from the bridge in Revenge of the Sith, Order 66. Absolutely phenomenal figure. Love this figure. Hasn't got the full articulation on the hips, but I don't care. Great looking figure. Vintage Bossk, obviously. We got the Rogue One Stormtrooper, 100% amazing figure. We've got Garandan here. He is one of my favourite figures, although he needs an update with proper elbows and knees and things like that. But still, look at that great looking figure. we have got Yak Face. Stunning figure, this one. Absolutely incredible detail on him. And we've got Woof at the back there. I don't have him loose, although I do have 2 of these carded. I actually bought this one to make him loose, but then I just couldn't bring myself to open him because it's an expensive figure, but I do want him loose. Absolutely phenomenal figure. And of course you've got the Vintage Saga Collection Bossk, which is my favourite modern figure out of everyone. If I'm going to mention a couple of Black Series figures, you've got the Gamorrean Guard Black Series figure there. Absolutely stunning figure. And then who could forget this guy? Wow, what a figure. I think recently, if there's one figure that looks exactly like it does in the programme or film or whatever, it is this guy. Absolutely stunning. Barnaby Eddie says, hi Bossk, would you like to see Jedi Fallen Order figures in the vintage collection? Yes, 100%. Covered this before. Why not? I think we need figures from all of Star Wars. So The Mandalorian, games, the films, everything. We need figures from all of it. So, and Jedi Fallen Order is no exception. We need those in the vintage collection. Zamot Rogue says, one of my favourite species are the Kubaz, the most famous of which is Garandan the Spy in Mos Eisley. What do you think the chances are for us to get another figure of him? The only one we've had was the Legacy collection, and that had a horrible articulation. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, this guy was from the Saga collection. Could be completely wrong about it, but I'm pretty sure he is. But nevertheless, you are 100% right. This guy, as I mentioned before, he needs an update. We need the knees, we need proper elbows, things like that. But from a figure standpoint, he is really, really good looking, isn't he? Great looking character, great design, and great figure to boot. They've got the head absolutely spot on. I like his cape. Yeah, we could really, really do with an update of him. I'm hoping that because of the Mandalorian, there's a couple of his species in there. He's got that little flute, isn't he? He sort of calls in the land speeders and all that. I thought that was brilliant, by the way. That might spur Hasbro on to sort of remember that character and redo him. Hopefully, fingers crossed. JH17 says, hello Bossk, I really enjoy your videos and the quality you maintain in them. Thank you, JH17. I do try. Please keep them coming. In your opinion, what are the chances of Hasbro releasing new sculpts of the Max Rebo Band figures? Oh, I don't know. I think the ones they released in the Power of the Force or Power of the Jedi, one of the two, they're actually pretty good sculpts. I think they were pretty much based on the original sculpts that we had back in the Kenner days. So I'm not sure if they'll update the sculpts. I could certainly see them re-releasing them as such in the vintage collection, maybe in like a 3-pack or something, the band members. That would be pretty awesome, considering we've had the Barge and we've had a Jabba's Palace and things like that. So I think they could seriously do that. Whether they'll do it is another matter, but I hope they do, because I think that'll be a pretty awesome thing for them to do. The Scouser77 says, great channel mate, but which, if any, conventions are you planning on attending this year? Collection Mania, etc. So I've never really been a massive convention goer, I've got to admit. It's never really been my thing. I've been to Star Wars Celebration Europe in the UK, and I've been to a few toy fairs and stuff, but nothing huge. But the ones that I do go to every year is the Echo Base Live in Redditch. So that's happens twice a year, usually in April or May, and again in October, I believe. And they're the two that I usually go to, as I say, every year, and they are brilliant because you can buy modern figures there. In-demand toys are always there. They have a stall selling all the new modern figures. Plus you have some of the stalls, you know, the regular sellers selling modern stuff as well. But there's also so much vintage Kenner and Palatoy. There's so much stuff there. I always end up spending an absolute fortune. But it is the best thing that I go to each year. I go out and hang out with my mates, which is great. We're all there to buy Star Wars. We always end up spending way too much money. But it's a great day out. And as I say, probably the best thing that I've ever been to in terms of having so much vintage Star Wars in one room at any one time. Starvell Boy says, do you think we'll get a vintage collection Rey with a new lightsaber? I doubt it, to be honest. Isn't she wearing the same outfit anyway that she does all the way through the film in that scene? I really can't remember, actually. I've only seen the film twice now, and that end piece is very short, isn't it? And you don't really see much of her anyway. With the new lightsaber, if she's in a new outfit, then maybe. If she's not in a new outfit, I can't see them re-releasing the figure with just the new lightsaber. But you never know. I just can't see it happening though, mate, to be honest. Ethan Bradley says, hi, love your videos. My question, is the rumoured Clone Wars figures going to be 6-inch or 3.75? So the video that I saw, the Kessel Run Transmissions guy, Corey I think it is, he had heard from two sources, and one I think said 6" and the other said 3.75". Actually, I might be getting that wrong. I think one said it'll be the animated style and one said it wouldn't be animated. But at this moment in time, no one is sure what scale those figures are going to be in. I think they're going to be aligned by themselves, so I would personally think they'll be 3.75. They might be those horrible 5" figures. Sorry, Hasbro, but I don't like the 5" figures. So who knows? We don't know yet. Hopefully Toy Fair will tell us more. Frank's Collection. Do you think they will release the barge again? Seems most of the scalpers bought them so they can ask triple the price. No, I don't think they will. I think it is a one-off and you had to be involved to get it in the first place. I tried to be involved, but obviously living in the UK, I wasn't allowed to be involved until they decided to put 400 of them up on eBay, which luckily I was one of the people that managed to snag one of those for the retail price of £650 or whatever it was. Bit expensive compared to what the guys in the US were able to get it for, $500 I think it was, which equates to about £400 over here. So, you know, we get stung for import charges and things like that. But yeah, you are right. A lot of people bought them pretty much just to scalp them. And if you want to buy one now, you're looking north of £1,000, which is a bit of a shame. But then again, there is only, 10,000 of them in the world. So even if you did get one for £1,000 now, with that yak face, I could only see it really going up in value. It's going to be an investment either way, I think, because in years to come, it's, going to be even more rare, isn't it? It's just going to be one of those high ticket items that's never going to happen again. I'm hoping that the next HasLab thing will be another Star Wars thing, and they do it, much better this time with distribution and what have you. But I think the barge, that was just a one-off thing. And yeah, I mean, if they brought it out again, I wouldn't be too bothered. The value of mine would probably go down, and that wouldn't bother me because I want more people to have it. I want more people to enjoy it. I want more people in the collecting community. So I hope they do, but I just don't think they will. Now, one thing before we go, I just want to let you all know, it's nothing important really, but it's I managed to get the retro collection, the imported ones, In Demand Toys. The nice guys they are, they managed to get more of the imported ones. So this is one of the imported ones. Here's the Stormtrooper, and he doesn't have that horrible massive piece of paper behind the figure. If you look at my Chewie, which I got in Asda over here, look at that massive bit of paper, just spoils the whole figure in the bubble in my opinion. A lot of people don't like these warning things up here. That's one thing that the UK ones do not have, but I think if I was going to choose between the two, I'd rather not have that massive bit of paper. Why can't they have just folded it up and put it under his feet like they do with the vintage collection? Seems ridiculous to me, and it really did spoil it, which is why I've never really picked these up. So now I've managed to get the imported ones, so I've got the whole wave without that horrible bit of paper. So that's just something I'll tell you guys. I don't know if you're interested or not, but I'm telling you anyway. Alright then guys, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. As per usual, leave your comments in the comment section below and your questions for next week. Be sure to leave a question and hit that like button, of course, and we'll see you on the next one.